Hello, 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 hello. Where are you? Yep, I get so. Hey, D-Rec. What's going on, DJ D-Rec? So glad to see you here. Hey, Amanda. Hey, everybody. We have an important topic to discuss tonight. As a matter of fact, we have two important topics to discuss tonight. And I'm going to get right into it. Hey, Takesha. I might have to have you come on. Hey, SGI, Robert, Elder Pierce, Diane, so many of you guys, come on in. So one of my students basically hit me with an APB. I don't even know what APB means. Let's just start there. I just know it's something that's really important. If anybody knows what APB means, tells me. Hey, Dr. Vanessa. Hey, everybody. But one of my students hit me with an APB, basically saying she lost her job. Help, what to do? So we're going to talk about that tonight. So I'm so glad to see everybody coming on. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Tell folks, money is a big deal. Money isn't everything, but Zig Ziglar says it's like oxygen. You got to have it. So we're going to deal with it. So let's just get a few things out of the way. I did a video this morning and I made my smoothie and I had on these pajamas. These are pajamas. Okay. I am not some little nerdy chick wearing nerdy clothes. These are pajamas. Okay. And I still have on my pajamas tonight. So this has been an all day in your pajamas work day for me. So I'm excited about that. That's the first thing we have to get out of the way. The second thing we have to get out of the way is this, this steak. I'm going to show you all this steak. I'm going to eat it while we have this live. This is what I'm eating nowadays. My steak, look at this. Woo, child. Let me tell you, I can't wait to get this piece right here. It's got meat, fat, and some other things. So for all you vegan people, I'm so sorry. But I am O positive and I love red meat. As a matter of fact, several years ago, yes, comfy pajamas. Several years ago, my iron was dangerously low. My doctor called me. He said, "Where are you?" I was in the car with my husband. We were going to a speaking engagement. He said, "Turn around, come to West Hills Hospital right now," because my iron was so low that my heart could have popped. But the Bible says you shall live and not die. And I have lived and not died. And so I believe that the reason I was alive was because that year for about 9 months, I was on the road with Light and I was eating 4 or 5 steaks a week. Now I was only eating 1 steak a year and maybe 1 hamburger a quarter. And I went from never eating steak to eating 4 or 5 steaks a week, every single week. And I believe it helped save my life because it gave me the protein I needed and the levels in my blood that I needed. So listen to your body. Okay. Lots of people got lots of dietary restrictions. I say, listen to your body. If you eat something that's not good for you, don't eat that. You know, it's like ice cream. You know, I love ice cream, butter pecan from back in the day. Okay. But my stomach does not agree. Okay. I need lactate. And even with that, it's a problem. All right. So the first thing was what I said. And the second thing is the steak. And the third thing is what to do in a financial emergency. So one of my students lost her job and I want you to post your questions because I'm going to take some more questions and I'm going to bring some more folks on here on live. And I know, you know, this is a little bit what they would call bootleg or ghetto or janky. One of the three or all three, because there's no notice. It's 10 o'clock at night. But I know that people are up at night worrying about their money. People are up at night with anxiety. People are up at night trying to figure out how they're going to make ends meet, what you're going to do to get to the next level, what you're going to do to pay your bills. So I figured this was as good a time as any to address this. So, I can't even look at the text message that my client sent me because my clients get to text me. Yes, they do. They get to text me and it's me answering. And when I send happy birthday messages and all of that, that is me. I don't have a staff doing that. That is me doing that. So she basically said, I lost my job. Oh my God, what am I going to do? All right. So the first thing that you're going to do if you lose your job is you're going to thank God. Now, I know you all did not expect me to say that. You're going to thank God. You're going to thank God for removing some things from your life that clearly are not going to help you get to where you're trying to go. And so if you lost a job because you weren't right, or if you lost a job because they weren't right, either way, you're not going to get where you're trying to go. And I have been in both situations. I have lost jobs. Well, I didn't quite lose a job, but I was very, very close. I had to file an EEOC complaint in one of my very first jobs in my career. But the truth is I was insubordinate because I didn't want to listen to my manager. I'm not going to say he was dumb, but let me just say, enough said. And so when he told me what to do, I didn't listen. And I was the top performer in the business, in the company. And so I figured I didn't have to listen. So why should I listen to you if all the people you're teaching are performing at a lower pace than me? I was really young and had no diplomacy at all. Now, folks, D-Rec, all y'all, don't you say nothing about me today, okay? I have found some more diplomacy, but I had none in my 20s. I want you, zero. It was a big fat zero. I had no diplomacy in my 20s. Diane, you've lost several jobs too. Has anybody ever lost a job because you done told your boss off? Come on now. That's a special kind of person. That was me. Yes, I did that. I lost a job because I told my boss off, but I thought I was being very professional and discreet with my telling off because I didn't use any curse words like I can very well. I'm very, very literate in cussish, English, Spanish. I'm very literate in cussish. I'm not going to do any for you in public on Facebook or Instagram Live, but you all know that that's just one of my traits. So I thought I was okay, but the truth is I was wrong. I was out of order. So I left that job before they left me or made me leave. Okay. But I was desperate. And then there was a job that I had where, it wasn't necessarily my own business, but I was able to earn as much money as I wanted to earn within somebody else's infrastructure. And because I'm very open and loyal and I believe in helping everybody, I brought in some people who were really my enemies. And even though I knew they were my enemies, I thought if I brought them into the company, then they would see how wonderful I was and how open and giving I was. Child, let me tell you, before I knew it, that person was in charge of me. I did not know that when that happened. And they let me go. They tried to take my phone number, all this stuff. And so I was pretty devastated. And to God be the glory, WVON Radio let me stay on the air. I was paying a hefty amount for marketing. I didn't have any money. And so WVON let me stay on the air. And I was able to, pick myself up and rebuild. And of course, all my friends and family want to kill everybody. I'm like, that doesn't work. You got to pray for people who hurt you. You have to pray for people who come against you. I'm telling you the truth. You cannot match their energy with your hate. You cannot match their energy with your jealous spirit. You cannot match their energy with revenge. You cannot match that energy. You can exceed their energy if you forgive and if you love and if you learn your lesson and if you keep your eye on the prize. So keep your eye on the prize. Okay. So you lost a job. I'm going to tell you to thank God that he closed the door. That is no longer a door for you to be walking through. Because some of us, we do not close the door until it's closed on us. Some of us do not close the door until it is slammed in our face. Some of us don't do that. Some of us, we like, oh, I'm so giving, I'm so loving, I'm so this. Girl, them people don't care about you. A brother, them people don't care about you. They don't care about you being loving. They don't care about you being committed. They don't care about you being kind. They don't care about you working extra. Now, what I'm going to tell you is keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. Every job that I had, even the one where I was disrespectful to my manager. I really was. And there was another job before that. I was so docile and compliant, and I finished my work for the whole year. I finished my whole year because I was a financial aid counselor at a very prestigious school in Chicago. And I finished my whole year of students in 2 months. So I was asking for more work, and they were too intimidated to give me any, even them. And I remember that was the year, it was the OJ trial, and I was pregnant and so on and so forth. So let me tell you what I do on every job. I follow Colossians 3:23. Work as if you're working for the Lord and not for men. I want you to write that down. Work as if you're working for the Lord and not for men. Because I'm going to tell you, God is going to promote you. Your enemies are not going to promote you. That boss who don't know anything is not going to promote you. That colleague who wants your job is not going to promote you. That person who promised you a raise or this, that, the other, they're not going to promote you. God is going to promote you. So you work as if you're working for the Lord and not for men. That's Colossians 3:23. So when you have a job, you say to yourself, if God had to review what I just did, how would I do it? What would I do differently? How would I improve it? If God had to give you your job, your raise, how would you do that job? I don't care how they treat you. I don't care what they say to you. I don't care how they act towards you. I don't care how mad you are when you go home. Because there were days when I did my job and I worked as if I was working for the Lord. But once I got off, let me tell you, godly things were not coming out my mouth. I was mad. I was irritated. I was upset. I felt betrayed. I felt used. I felt abused. All of those things. But I want you to understand right now that if you have lost your job, thank God. And decide that you're going to work as if you're working for the Lord and not for men. Okay. So when you get your next job, then your star will shine. When you get your next job, then your work will speak for itself. You won't have to ask for a raise. The raise will come to you. You won't have to ask for more privileges and assets and so on and so forth. Those things will come to you. Okay. That's what I want you to do. Okay. So this is about you taking power. You can't control a job. You can't control a manager. You can't control somebody else's decision or belief about who you are and what you mean to this world and what you mean to their business. You can't control that, but you can control you. So whatever you can control, what you can control, baby, you do the best you can where you are with what you have right now. Take your power back. You don't sit around and cry and oh my God, and what they did to me. Honey, that is wasted time. That is wasted energy. Y'all say time is money. Honey, energy is money. Energy is like money in the bank. When you lose it, it's gone. It's gone. You can't get energy back. And if your energy is bad, if your energy is depressed, if your energy is angry, it takes you a much longer time to recover. Okay? Because you don't go from being angry and just pop up and productive. No, you throw that away. You work as if you're working for the Lord. You take your power and then you look at the things that you need to correct for yourself. Do you need to go take another class? There are people who are failing in life because we cannot read. And if we can't, and if we can't read, we can't comprehend. Go take a reading class. Go take a reading comprehension class. Let me tell you all something. I haven't told anybody about this yet, but I have enrolled in some classes that's going to blow everybody's mind. I'm going back 30 years ago to go get some stuff that I left behind. And I'm going to get it and I'm bringing it with me today. So there is no shame. If you have to take a reading class, a reading comprehension class, if you have to take a math class, some of us cannot even participate in the world today because you don't know how to use Excel, a spreadsheet. Honey, the spreadsheet comes up on the screen and you put your numbers in, it adds everything up. Go take an Excel class online. Okay? If you don't know how to use a computer or social media, take a class. Okay? Because some of us are operating like we're still in an outhouse. Now, my grandmother grew up with outhouses. Y'all know Grandma B. They had outhouses. They had to go do their business outside in the dark. And honey, she said there was snakes and all kind of stuff out there, and Grandma B didn't play. Honey, that little skunk that was over here trying to visit me that we caught in Jesus' name, honey, she would have killed it on sight. I told my husband, I said, oh, Grandma B didn't play. She would have killed it. If she saw it, it would have been dead. She don't care nothing about no wildlife laws. Because if the wildlife come on her property in her space, she would kill it. Okay. So she had to go to the outhouse. But here's the deal. We got indoor plumbing. Now, you go to the restroom inside. And some of us are trying to work in a outhouse situation when we got indoor plumbing. We got indoor plumbing. Okay. So if you don't know how to properly read or properly comprehend or properly write a letter of interest for a job that you want or do an Excel spreadsheet, let me tell you something. So if you don't have a job and you go look at the jobs and you don't have the qualifications, apply anyway and get the qualifications in the process. Do you know how many jobs I applied for and did not have the qualifications when I applied? Oh, baby, but by the time I got the job, I had the qualifications. I used to work at Dean Witter Reynolds on a very, very high floor in the Sears Tower building in Chicago. It was at that time the tallest building in the world. Now a couple of haters then came on and just took the spot. They ain't even add no floors. They added some more stuff at the top. But I'm not even going to talk about that today. We could talk about that another day. But I was working at the Sears Tower. And I had taken a break from school. I had gone through a lot. I was now enrolled at another college. And I was finishing my degree in business. I had a job after I got out of school at a law firm. And when I went to apply for the law firm job, they said they were looking for somebody who had a degree. But because I had credentials from Northwestern University, they decided to hire me for that job. That was great. I typed like 120 words a minute. Baby, I was bad back in the day. And I had another job at Dean Witter Reynolds. So when I left that job at 5, I went to my next job at 6. And baby, I was stacking my money. I was living at home, stacking my money. So the next thing you do, if you lose your job, decrease your expenses. You might have to, I'm cutting out some expenses today. I've been going through some things. I told my students on 15 Minutes with Dr. Lynn last night that my budget is out of control. I'm not spending more money than I have to spend. I'm just spending more money than I'm comfortable with. And I don't know what it all is because I moved and so on and so forth. And so there's a lot of new things. I got to get this under control. So I'm starting to cut some things. So if you lose a job, I remember a lady one day, she said, Lynn, I just lost my job. And we talked and she was on her way to get her nails done. Baby, if you don't do your own nails when you lose your job, honey, if you don't comb your own hair when you lose your job, if you don't cook your own food when you lose your job, when you lose your job, cut every possible expense. I don't care if you have an emergency fund. An emergency fund is not for you to maintain the same lifestyle that you had before you lost your job. An emergency fund is supposed to try to stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch. So if you've lost your job, thank God. Work as if you're working for the Lord, not for men. So change yourself. Minimize your expenses. Go look through all the stuff that you don't need. And I don't care about your friends. I don't care about your church members. I don't care about your family. I don't care about none of that because they are not going to pay your bills. So stop trying to keep up with your sorority sisters. Stop trying to keep up with the links. Stop trying to keep up with the Jack and Jill members. Stop trying to keep up with the women at the lodge. Stop trying to keep up with all that stuff. The men at the cigar club, whatever. Stop trying to keep up with all that. Okay, you a cheer mom, you a basketball mom, you a piano mom. You cannot afford that anymore. Not today. Okay, so talk to your children or whoever you have, emotional attachments to, and tell them what the real deal is. Now, once you do that, get to work because we are still in a pandemic. We're still in the pandemic. So call your creditors and tell them you don't have any money. Tell them you lost your job and ask them for an extension of time to pay. Do not try to be Superwoman or Superman and be like, oh, I'm still good. No, you're not good. Okay, you're not good, because we don't know how long it's going to take to land that next job. And so we want to continue to stack dollars and stack dollars and stack dollars. So call all your creditors, the light company, the gas company, the water company, everybody. If you had a gym membership, cancel it. Run around your block. Come on now. Let's stop some of this stuff that we do not need when we don't have the money to do those things. Okay. All right. If you were in the Instacart or somebody was delivering your groceries, go get your own groceries, okay? Because you don't have a job, so now you got some time, okay? Some of these other things. Now, I know that there's a whole lot of people who do Uber Eats and all of that kind. Baby, I can't do it. I have asked my husband 1,000 times, babe, you don't have to go anywhere. Just let's order some Grubhub or Uber. He's like, I ain't paying $10 extra for a $2 burger. Now, our food is more expensive than that. But my point is, pick and choose your battles. Eliminate some of those expenses, okay? Now, once you do those things, baby, you better work. You better work. Now, I told you all back in the 90s, my name is Lenny and I got plenty. Honey, I could open up my little jacket, my coat. Honey, I had toothbrushes and insurance policies. I was selling everything. Crazy as all get out. Now, I don't recommend that as a long-term strategy, but I do recommend that you start your home-based business and you get yourself together and you figure out what your skills are. You figure out what your talents are. You figure out the things that you do naturally and you start a home-based business. Yeah, baby, child. I was like, my name is Lenny and I got plenty. That's what it was. Okay. All right. So, this is not a death sentence. This is not a death sentence. The next thing you do, go get you some food stamps. Stop trying to be so proud, everybody. Okay? Some of us been working for 40 or 50 years. And so you have deposited your money in the food stamp bag. Go get you some food stamps out the bag, okay? You done put some money in there. All right? When this recession hit in 2008, at first, I was embarrassed, like, oh, I got to get some food stamps. And I was thinking about sending my husband because I was a radio personality. And I knew if I went there, people would know me. And baby, I didn't care. I walked right on up in there, about to eat some of this steak. I walked right on up in there and got my food stamps. Do you understand me? Because I had put millions of dollars into the system. So all I need is about $700 a month for food stamps. And I knew that I would not be hungry or homeless. So if I'm not going to be hungry or homeless, then I know that I have the ability to go and get some money. Now, I had at that point college degrees, all this, honey, that didn't matter. I applied for every job they had. I was willing to work at White Castle, a teller at a bank, retail, whatever. I was willing to do. Now, here's the deal. Nobody will hire me. Because I had too many credentials. Like, I had too many degrees. So they knew that if they hired me, I wasn't going to stay. And so it was just hard. So I wrote more books. I did speaking engagements. I taught classes for free. This was really before Facebook. We had, what was that other one? What was that social media platform? Space or Live Space or something Space. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They had that out. But there was no Twitter, Instagram. I mean, Facebook had just come out. There was no Instagram or TikTok. There was MySpace. Thank you. Come on now. They had MySpace. But child, MySpace was nothing. So I just did what I could. I emailed people. I text people. I gave my services away for free. That's what I did. I gave my services away for free. I spoke to people for free. I spoke into their life. Thank y'all so much for telling me about MySpace. I'm never going to forget it again. I keep forgetting about MySpace and Black Planet. Janisha, come on, child. You done really came up here and did it. So I gave my services away for free. And eventually, God allowed me to break through. Because let me tell you what you got to do. You got to collide into your next opportunity. You got to collide into your promise. You got to collide into what God has for you. It's not just going to be here in this plan that you say 1, 2, 3, and oh, here it is. No, you got to keep going. You got to keep grinding. You got to keep believing. You got to keep doing. You got to keep dreaming. You got to keep working. You got to keep going. You just got to keep going. That's what you have to do. Okay. All right. Now, if you're going to apply for jobs in 2021 in America, baby, roll up your sleeves. Roll up your sleeves, because applying for a job is a job. When you go online, they want you to put in all this information. You know, it might take you an hour and a half to apply for one job. So you may want to consider enrolling with an employment agency. Okay. And while I'm thinking about this, because I've got some members on my team who are here tonight, some of my diamond members, we need to think of Diane. I see all of you here. We need to think about a job placement service. Okay. All right. So we can help people apply for the jobs that are within their skill set. Because let me tell you something, applying for a job back in the day, all you had to do was send in a resume. You look in the employment ads in the newspaper on Sunday and you send in your resume, and that was it. Not today, child. Honey, you got to sign up. You basically have to have a college degree to apply for this stuff and get all this stuff in if you don't have a computer. And let me say this. If you lost your job, if you don't know what to do, if you don't know where to go, this is what I want you all to do. Hey, Eubanks, I see you here. So good to have you all here. Listen, get a computer. You cannot go to the next level on an iPhone. You cannot go to the next level on an Android. You cannot go to the next level on a Google Pix. You cannot go to the next level on an iPad. At some point, you're going to need a computer. Let me just take my computer and you need a computer, okay? You're going to have to get a computer. And if you don't have any money, go to QVC. They will give you a computer and charge you a monthly payment. Okay? If you cannot afford one outright. When I had no money, I went to QVC, Home Shopping Network, or any of them, and I got my computers. And I got the top of the line within reason, because you're going to have to be able to do something on a computer unless you plan on standing up and just being a greeter at Walmart. And no disrespect to that. If that's what you want to do, great. But if you're going to have a lawn mowing business, you're going to have a computer with all your customers. If you're going to have a babysitting business or a hair service or something, at some point, you're going to need a computer. Okay? All right? So God is not giving you the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and a sound mind. Power of love and a sound mind. If you got fear, that means the enemy is controlling your emotions right now, because you cannot worship God with your faith and an enemy with your fear at the same time. You got to pick one. You have to pick one. Okay. So I know that not having a job can be scary, but it is not a death sentence. It is not the end. It is how and that's why you need to be a part of a network. You need to be attached to other people, because if I don't have a job, baby, I'm calling all y'all. Honey, I got students. I got everybody. Y'all better hire me to do something. Okay. Even if it's get your kids in check. I do that very well. I know how to get kids in check. I sure do. I know how to get spouses in check too. I know how to get your house in order. I know how to do all of that. Okay. So y'all gonna hire me for something. Let me live in the West Wing and do something. I know how to cook. Okay. I will throw down for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Mother's Day, Easter, the 4th of July, all the holidays. Okay. I will have you doing great. Okay. All right. So, if there are any questions right now, I'll take some requests. So, go on and put your question here, and then I will, and thank you, Virgie. Yes, Virgie too. Go to asklynn.org if you need some help. Asklynn.org. LYNN, Asklynn. But if you have any questions right now, just go on and put something in the chat so I can see what your question is and see how many of these questions I can take. All right, with the job. Okay. Okay, so this is, okay, Tavia, accept my request. I just put you on to go live, okay? You gotta, okay, there you go, Tavia. Come on, now what's your question, dear?
I was asking, how do I, with a job, save my money so I can stop living from check to Monday?
How do you gotta spend less money than you make, baby? You gotta take that check every time you get it. And I don't care if you just get a little spiral notebook from Walgreens, CVS, or Dwayne Reed, okay? You gotta write the amount of money that you got. You gotta write it. Because the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain so that the reader can run with it. You gonna be the reader and you gonna run. And then you have to list under that. So if it's $1,000, then you gotta write everything you're gonna spend money on, and you can't spend more than that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know it seems, go on.
It's always going to, I'm always in a financial struggle because it's going towards, it's like I'm working to pay rent and bills and I can't get the bare minimum. I've tried food stamps and now I work at a job and I've been turned down for that because they keep saying, oh, well, you make too much. I was working a job like maybe 2 years ago. I was bringing in, I made $8.50 an hour and I was always borrowing. And just recently I got sick. And so money had to be spent on that. And then I owed somebody money. And so I was out of work for 2 days. And then, so the money that I have now, I have to pay that in rent. And it's like a cycle where I'm gonna need to borrow again because I lost those 2 days of work. But it's always where I can't even tithe if I want to. So it's always where I'm spending money to pay electricity bill. I'm behind in my car note by 2 days. When I get paid on the 11th, that's gonna go towards that. Then I gotta pay electricity, and because I don't get food stamps, I need to have some money for that, you know, to eat for like till I get paid again. And then I got.
Let's start with one thing at a time. Let's start with your electricity bill. Did you go online and sign up for a payment plan, an extension, or anything? Because they have those online now with the electric companies. Did you do that?
Well, no, I tried that, but what I can say is
you tried that, and what happened? What happened?
I tried that. I was doing like deferment plans. And I think because I was paying them late because they used to be high, but the thing is, they're lower. Like my bills were like 200 or 100 and something. They're like 80, or the most is like $90.
Okay, so you got to talk to them. So it's not like you owe them thousands and thousands of dollars. So they're not going to turn off your lights. So you got to call them, and you may not be able to pay them this month or next month, but you need to find out what your parameters are. Now let's go to your car note. Did you call your car note company and ask for a deferment or an extension of time to pay?
Yeah, they told me I utilized them all, you know, because I was always delinquent in them.
Okay, so you utilize your deferment. I know that. I know that. I've been there, done that. And so is your car brand new or is it used?
It's used. I bought it used. It's 3 years old.
Okay, so it's 3 years old. What's your credit?
And I bought it used.
How's your credit?
It's crap. It's crap. It's like,
okay.
And that's the thing. I went to go look for an apartment. That's another thing I'm trying to get out of. That's why I'm consulting you. I tried to go get a better apartment. Like
they won't take it. Yeah, I got a family member now trying to get an apartment. And honey,
I never had that problem. I never had.
No, they're not playing now. Okay, so let's think about this. We've been in a pandemic. People have been out of work. People don't want to go to work. If you had a building, I always tell people you got to ask yourself this: if you had a building, who would you rent your property to? Would you rent it to somebody who's had credit issues? It don't matter why the credit issues are; it's just there. But would you look for the people who have excellent credit
who have found a way to pay. And the answer is you're going to look for people. So if you're looking for a good place to live, let me explain to you all what's happening right now. If you're looking for a good place to live, you got to have good credit. You got to have better credit to rent than you have to buy. You can buy a house with no credit score, but you can't rent one. They don't want you. So what I'm going to say to you is you need a strategy. So if I was looking at all of your stuff, because in order for me to give you a proper diagnosis, I have to actually be looking at everything. In order for me to give you a proper diagnosis, I would look at everything. I would ask questions about everything. And I would say, okay, you're not going to pay this. Okay, you will pay that. Okay, you got 2 months for this. Okay, you got something for that. That's how you would do it. And I've got a team of financial coaches who can help you do that. So, I'm just going to say to you, don't quit. Don't give up. You can get out of the cycle. The reason why we don't get out of the cycle is because we don't have any help. Let me tell you something. There are going to be thousands, it's possibly millions of people who are going to see this. Most people with money problems do not have a strategy or a coach. Doesn't make any sense. If you want to go to the Olympics, you need a coach.
A coach costs a lot of money. A coach costs a lot of money. I'm trying to.
And not having a coach costs more money. Come on now. Come on. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Don't say to me, talking about a coach costs money. Not having one is costing you more. I'll tell you right now, you don't have to get me. Go anywhere. Go to Dave Ramsey, Susie. I'm gonna go anywhere. But if you are not making money and you don't know what to do, it's because you do not have the proper tools. And guess what? You got to invest in what you believe in. You got to invest in what you want. We invest in our kids for Christmas with no return. We invest in their new outfit for whatever with no return. We invest in what we want. So what I'm going to say to everybody, and I'm so glad you said that. I'm so thankful that you're here with me, Tavi. I'm so thankful. If you want to get your money to the next level, there are a few people who figure out how to do it on their own, but not many. Not many. Not many. So what I'm going to say to you, do the 21 days to financial freedom. It's free. All you got to do is pay for the book. You don't want me to pay for the book too, do you? Come on now. Yeah. 21 days to financial freedom. You start to change your mind. You start to learn how to put things in order, so on and so forth. Just start there. That's something that you can do. But my prayer for you is that you will learn how to get out of this cycle. Because I'm telling you, the money not going to drop out the sky, baby. That's not what's going to happen. You're not going to, there's not a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Okay. And you don't want a sugar daddy. Okay. Cause they're going to work you to death. Right. And chances are you're not going to get a winning lottery ticket. So for everybody who is trying to figure out, what do I do to get out of financial bondage? Because what you're saying, I lived it. Girl, I would get my money on Friday. I would pay whatever bills were past due. Because I didn't believe in paying bills that weren't due yet.
Why?
Crazy. Okay. I would pay on my past due bills. Right? And I would still go out, buy a new outfit. Me and my husband go to the comedy club with our friends and so on and so forth. Sometimes I'd be at dinner trying to figure out what credit card or debit card I'm going to use. I didn't have $50 to pay for a meal. Then I'm trying to figure out how to juggle. I've been there. I understand that. What I want you to understand is that's a lifestyle and a mentality. And I'm not saying this in any disrespectful way. I'm saying it because I know it and I've been on both sides. People who are broke are operating under the same system. And people who are not broke are operating under the same system.
How did you get out of it?
Everything that I'm telling you now. I had to start learning. I had to start practicing what I was preaching because I was a hypocrite. I was teaching people, but I wasn't doing what I taught. I had to start doing it. And it took me years and years and years and years. I had to learn how to build multiple streams of income and keep them sustainable. I had to learn how to build a proper business. I had to learn how to change my mindset. I had to do all those things. I had to do it. So that's why so many people have been successful getting it done, is because I'm not teaching some crap. But I don't want you on here to convince you to get a class. I want you on here to convince you to change your cycle.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying to you.
Yes.
And if you got another way to change your cycle, do it. But if you don't, I don't care what nobody say. You go to asklyn.org, my classes are cheap. They're inexpensive. I make them inexpensive on purpose so people won't have an excuse. And before I started charging, I used to give away the classes for free and nobody would take them. When I was on Steve Harvey, millions of people, I was like, oh, nobody took the class. As soon as I said, well, pay for the book, at least 20, everybody took the class. Because guess what? Your own nature, you too good to take something for free and do anything with it. Your own nature is your own human nature. Your own human nature says, I need to pay for what I want, because you got to pay for bread. You got to pay for cereal. You got to pay for milk. Tavia, I'm imagining you do hair. People got to pay for them hairdos, don't they?
I haven't even started that back yet.
Oh, child, you need to be in How to Start a Home-Based Business on Saturday. You need to get your home-based business. Baby, you need to get your tax deductions. You need to get. So the last thing I'm going to tell you is, if you don't have income, you've lost your job, you got to get your money back. First thing you got to do is spend less money.
I
Next
have
thing
a
you gotta
job
do
and
is
I'm
get more
struggling.
money. And the third thing you got to do is get your money back by having the proper tax deductions. What did you say?
I said I have a job, but I'm always struggling. I've had two, and
Okay, so tell me, are you gonna keep struggling?
I don't want to keep struggling. No,
What you gonna do different?
that's why I'm here, to try to figure out what to do different.
All right.
Something ain't working.
What you doing don't work. It takes a lot of undoing to undo the doing you have done.
And I'm tired of borrowing money from mom.
Come on now. Come on now. Yes. And I'm telling you, I was in that position and I had a college degree and all this kind of stuff. Child, it don't matter how many degrees you got. Broke people, we are in one class by ourselves. And I graduated. And I've helped many other people. To God be the glory for that. Because I don't take that as like I'm better than anybody. All I'm saying is I've been there, done it all. I filed 2 bankruptcies. I've had a foreclosure. I've had to leave homes. I've had to, all that kind of stuff. So all I'm saying is don't stay there. So I've given you some things. And unfortunately for most people, they start the path and then they get off the path. So I have never met a person, never, in 20 plus years, who I didn't look up their money and find ways that's not right. You do this, you do never, not one person. Not one person ever. Okay. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for allowing me to have you as a part of this. And I'm so thankful for you. And let's see who else we got. Do we have any more questions? Anybody else have any more questions? What's the number one thing you learned here today, Tavia?
I learned to change it, especially to change my mindset.
Come on,
and
come on now.
That's the number one thing I learned, to change my mindset.
Yeah, as a man thinketh, so is he. As a woman thinketh, so is she. So whatever you think about your situation is what will be. You got to speak what you seek until you see what you say. And you got to keep speaking what you seek until you see what you say around the right people who going to do what you say and help you on your way. Mm-hmm. So haters, naysayers, blockers, and crab barrel leg pullers not going to get you where you're trying to go. They're not going to get you. So
when I do the 21 days.
Huh?
Yeah. I'm going to do the 21 days with the book for $20.
It's going to have you laughing. It's going to have you crying too. I grade every assignment every day. And, get yourself to the next level. And all I'm going to say is, if you want to change, I'm here and I don't judge. Doesn't matter what you've been through, no matter what mistakes you've made, no matter how long it takes you, I'm here. So you want to get your mindset right. You want to build more streams of income, because here's the deal. Listen, everybody, If you don't have enough money, you got to spend less or get more. It's a simple mathematics, okay?
Okay.
It's 1 + 1 = 2. You all have heard me say that so much, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Let me talk to Vanessa. Okay, Vanessa, I want you to come and join me. Let me see if I can. Miss Tavia, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you were here with me this
Okay.
evening.
Thank
And
you.
yes, Miss Tavia. So go on and go to asklyn.org and let me know that you were on the live. And I'm going to hook you up with my team member so they can speak to you directly and get you on the right track. Let's see here. I've got one more question that I wanted to answer. And this was somebody who asked about college. Okay, come on, Vanessa. Get on in here. Vanessa, where you at? Are you here, Vanessa? Hey, come on now. Now, Vanessa, it's late at night.
It
And you
is.
know I'm about to lose my wits. And
Oh,
you
sorry.
so tell us what you asked us, because I think you already know the answer. What's your question?
So I have two daughters that have already graduated college. I
Mm-hmm.
have two to go. And college is getting expensive. Every single year is just costing more and more. And we're at the point right now where I'm deciding if I should take money out of my retirement to help supplement college so I don't have to pay for student loans. So far, we have graduated debt-free with two kids.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get any financial aid. We don't qualify for financial aid. Unfortunately, when you work hard, you don't get Pell and TAP and all those things that I got, fortunately, when I was younger. So someone said to me that I can take money out from my retirement and pay it back with interest. And that way it's a loan that I'm taking out from myself. So I was just wondering if that's a great idea. The other thing is we had a 529K for the kids and I got rid of it because I realized that when the colleges see that you have money,
Mm-hmm.
they have money, they don't want to give you anything. They want to make
Absolutely.
sure that you delete every single thing before they even offer you, one of the scholarships that they have, not even Pell and TAP.
I
So
understand it. I was a financial aid counselor, and I'm going to tell you right now that the financial aid limits that were in place when I was a financial aid counselor in 1995 are the same exact limits that they are today. And even though the 1995 to 2021, nothing has changed. The limits are exactly the same.
And my
Okay,
mother
so
didn't even make that much money then, and we still had to pay a part in a community college.
you have to pay for all of that. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions. 1, what state do you live in?
New Jersey.
2, what kind of grades do these 2 children get?
The last two are straight A students.
And number 3, where is the free school?
There are no free schools for me.
They're close to free. The
In
community
Jersey, I
college.
think you have to make under $67,000, and depending on your household size, and in New York as well, for your child to be able to qualify for free school. We're not in that category.
Okay, so maybe not free, but substantially less than a private institution. So as opposed to $300 or $400 a credit hour at a community college or a state school, you're talking about $30, $40, $50 per credit hour. And guess what? They can go work at Starbucks, Chipotle, and work their way through college. In my household, I told my kids school is free. If you get A's, you go to school for free. If you get C's, you go to the free school. Now, your children got A's. They should be going to somebody's school for free, which means they should be applying to every school that's out there. And guess what school they go to? The one that give them the most money.
And I've done that in the past. Don't get me wrong. Both of my girls, thank God, they both graduated. Both of the older girls graduated. They did not get full scholarships, but they got some money from school. They did get some money from school. So, of course, that brought down that, that 55,000, that $50,000 a year college tuition
They don't
down.
need to be going to a $55,000 a year school. Are these last two back to back?
No, they're 7 years apart.
Okay, so you got 4 years for one, 4 years for the other. That would be my recommendation. I'm not telling any parent to go get money out of their 401k to pay for college. You don't have to. My friend Anthony O'Neill has a book called Debt Free Degree. If you email my office, I will make sure you get a copy. That's my thing would be to go to a school. So now here's the other thing. I always tell people it's 5 F's that keep you from being financially free. Feelings.
Feelings.
Come on now.
I've been following you for a while now on YouTube. I've been following you for a while on YouTube, so I'm listening to making sure I have the side hustle and make sure I'm paying my kids and keeping my receipts and doing all these things, and I'm
Feelings. Family.
Yes, family, and the family was the biggest downfall for me when I was in my early 20s and 30s, because back then you're young, you're making all this money, and you have no kids, and guess what? I was buying prom dresses for my nieces and paying for this one's furniture and sign it up for me, and
child, we could have been billionaires. We could all been billionaires. Everybody on the live, child, we could have been billionaires running multi-billion trillion-dollar companies with all the money we wasted. So I'm going to say feelings and family are, if those are the two decisions guiding where your daughters go to school or where your children go to school. Now, I'm not judging. All I'm saying is you already know it needs to be mathematics. Now, let me tell you what I know about the woman who mentored me financially. She had 800 plus credit score. She and her husband, financially free, debt free, real estate, home paid for. Her children went to the free school. She didn't pay for nobody.
Wow.
You got accepted to this school and that school. NCCU gave you a full scholarship. That's where you're going. The end. It's us who are emotionally attached and, I want to go to this school because I went there, or this, that, and the other, because so-and-so, and this, that, and the other. Honey, it ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
My daughter has her heart set on Princeton University, and I'm just like, you know how much that school costs?
Well, Princeton, from what I understand, Princeton does not allow any student loans. So they
to graduate with debt. I heard that they don't let you graduate with debt.
So if she gets into Princeton, from my understanding, Princeton gives you all the money that you need. They meet the unmet need. So once you do the financial aid, whatever the unmet need is, they give it to you. That's how it was at Northwestern. My oldest went to Northwestern. My 2 youngest are at Howard. My 2 youngest are on scholarships, and my oldest was on a full ride at Northwestern. So it can be done.
Okay.
It can be done. You got to sit down and have a conversation. This is life. You don't have a whole lot of time to stack. We're supposed to be stacking dollars so that by the time we get to a certain age, retirement, we can sit back and be free. I struggled my whole young adult life coming up, 20s, 30s. And in my 40s, I said, I'm not living my 40s like I lived these last 2 decades, baby. The devil is a liar.
I know that's right.
And so now, just turned 50, I'm able to enjoy and see the harvest that has come from the seed that has been sown, but I still got to be very intentional and strategic about what I do. So
don't touch that money.
Yeah.
Don't touch that money.
Yeah. Don't touch the money. Girl, please.
Don't touch the money.
Go to askland.org and tell me what you told me here so I can send you some more resources for stuff for college and so on and so forth, and maybe even some scholarship opportunities. Okay.
And that's what I told my daughter. I said, you can, you have the opportunity to start earning scholarships now. I wish if I knew back then what some of the things that I know now, and, I'm like pushing her to do these things, and it's not that she's giving me pushback. It's just like, are you
child,
lazy?
Let me tell you, I don't care. And we educated in my family. I don't care about no person without a job telling me nothing and pushing back on nothing. Let me tell you something. This is what it is. This is what I'm able to do. This is what makes sense. And let me tell you something. Children do not need parents who extend themselves beyond their means. I don't know a child who really wants that. They want what they want. They want the video game. They want the couch. They want this. But the truth is, children want parents who can demonstrate financial independence and financial wisdom. That's what they will take with them in their life. And that's what they'll appreciate. I always say to people, if you are sacrificing for your children, show them your bank statement. Are you too embarrassed to show them your bank statement? Because if you're too embarrassed, it's probably not right. You want to actually be able to do what you can teach, right? So this is what I did for you, and this is what you should do for your children. But if what I'm doing for you is overextending myself, living beyond my means, robbing Peter to pay Paul, pulling money from here, then ever, it's really not what I want to teach. So one of the things that I say to people when I teach at New Wealth University is to only do what you can teach. If you can't teach it, don't do it.
Well, I have my 14-year-old. She opened up a bank account, and she always goes on. You know how they have the
She need a job. Is she working for the
You know what? She worked so hard in school. Her school, she's earning an associate's degree from her high school. So that's number one.
Y'all,
I
here's
keep
my
her.
fake violin.
I live in Newark, New Jersey. I have to keep my kids off the streets. That's number one.
Yeah.
So I keep her
job.
off the streets. She's involved in girl programs like She Wins.
I get it.
We met Stacey Abrams the other day.
And one of the things needs to be a job in your home-based business.
Oh, in my home-based business. Okay, yes. We can.
In your home-based business, a job in your home business, not out. Now, my children had jobs in the home-based business. My youngest, since she was 6, but they still wanted to go get jobs. Girl, she worked at Chipotle for a week and quit. The other one worked at Starbucks. I'm like, why do you want to get a job someplace else? So everybody works for the home-based business. But
I do have my tutors in craft, because I tutor and I do like arts and crafts with children, and parents pay for stuff like that.
You can hire them to do your social media, your bookkeeping, your marketing. So many things you can do. But God bless you. God bless you. And I wish you the best. But please don't take that money out.
Don't take that money out that account.
Please try every single possible thing you can. Start working on it. When you make a step towards God, He makes 5 steps back toward you.
That's
you
right.
got to believe in Him and collide into your promise. My middle child got scholarships from Hampton and Howard. So I know it can be done. If they're getting straight A's, they can get a free education. I know it can be possible. So God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, everybody, this has been wonderful. I hope you learned something. Tag somebody. I'm going to post this on my page for further review. Thank you all so much for your prayers. You all know that the past couple of months have been very challenging for me, but God is real. He is love, and I am going to be everything that He wants me to be in terms of truth and love and power and helping as many people as possible be free. So I love you. If you need my help, go to asklynn.org. And I'm going to post this right now. Okay, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.